So it's spring and you feel like you want to change your life for the better. You want to achieve all the goals you set for yourself. You want to start all the dream projects that you've been putting out lately and focusing on other things, other unnecessary things. But now it's spring and it feels like it is time to change. It is time to start. Hello guys, my name is Nazima. Welcome back to my channel, and today let's discuss how we're going to change our lives by ignoring our fears, ignoring our excuses, ignoring everything that says that we can't achieve something that we really want to achieve. And we are going to apply everything we know and start doing stuff today. First things first, get out of your comfort zone. I know you've heard about this a lot, and I know you've heard about how your comfort zone is going to kill you if you stay there. So you need to get out of it today. So a few weeks ago, I listened to a podcast of some guy, and he was talking about how he started his career after he graduated from uni, and then he was like, I had to move out of my parents' home. Like, I had nothing, but I knew I had to move out from my parents' home because I knew that I wouldn't get out of my comfort zone if I didn't. I knew that if I stayed at my parents' house, then I would just live my life just like I lived it before, and I wouldn't change anything. But if I challenge myself and I move out and I start to be very independent, then I am going to get out of my comfort zone, actually face the challenge, face all the obstacles, and I am going to grow. Those obstacles, those changes are actually going to push me toward working on my goals and actually achieving them. And honestly, I never listened to the podcast of that guy because sometimes I was like, he's like saying things that I cannot relate to. But this exact podcast I liked because it was honestly the truth about life, that whenever you decide that you can do something, you can achieve something without getting out of your comfort zone, you are actually lying to yourself, because there is nothing huge that you can achieve in your comfort zone. There is nothing huge that is waiting for you here. Like, okay, so you're saying that by staying in your comfort zone, you can achieve stuff, but you've been staying in your comfort zone for the last 20 years, and what have you achieved? Let's see, just show us. Because honestly, I saw people that all the time, I saw successful people who actually achieved huge things in their life. They all had to sacrifice their comfort. They all had to start thinking outside of their box, outside of everything that they had ever known and believed in. And basically what I liked about that guy's podcast was that he mentioned how much his parents actually didn't believe he could make it on his own, and they were like, not only didn't believe that he could make it on his own, but they got actually upset with him moving out because they didn't want to let go of their son, right? And basically a lot of people that surrounded him didn't believe in him. They were like, oh, you're crazy, blah blah blah, you can make it on your own. But he didn't listen to the voices of the people who have their own subconscious limits and beliefs, who themselves never achieved anything in their life, and yet here they are giving him advice that he didn't ask for. And that's what I'm telling you right now. Stop listening to people who think small, who believe in small things, who don't believe that there are huge things in this life and that the universe is abundant and there is literally so many things that you can achieve in life if you just start. Which leads me to my main point of this video. Just start doing whatever you told yourself you would do, whatever you've been dreaming about doing. Because I know this on my own experience. Like, since I was 16 years old, I discovered that there are actual YouTubers and that they actually make a living out of it, and they make money and they help people and they actually do the things that they like to do, and they are free. And since then, when I realized how much those YouTubers helped me emotionally, I was like, I also want to become one day a YouTuber, and I also want to help people, giving them advice and so on. But the years passed, a lot of years passed, and all I did was blah blah blah. I was just selling this to my sister, to my mother, to my friends, to whoever, and yet I didn't do anything. And then when one day my sister just told me, like, you just need to start, like, stop having excuses of why you can't be a YouTuber, of why you can't make a living out of it. Just go for it. If you really want to be a YouTuber, if you really want it, then just stop talking about it all the time and just do. And basically it was like, I didn't listen to her because, guys, it really has to hit you so that you will actually start. You will actually wake up one day in the morning and you're going to, enough is enough. I am starting today, because there is ain't no way I am not achieving that thing that I set my mind to achieve. Ain't no way I'm going to live without that goal. And basically that hit me in the middle of the night a few months ago. I was like, I've been wanting to become a YouTuber for so many years, and the only thing that I did was constantly talk about it and give excuses of why I cannot start yet. And then it hit me and I was like, I'm so tired of not doing that. I'm so tired of not being a YouTuber. Like, I want to be a YouTuber, and it's something I want to do. And basically all I had to do was just start. Also, I remember how one day I was sitting and it was like a sign from the universe or something, but I scrolled through one app that I'm constantly using for inspiration, and basically someone posted something there about, like, there was a phrase and it went like this: a self-help book for starters. And then below it was written, just start. And honestly, that also hit me so much, because in order to become someone good in the field that you want to be at, in the field that you see yourself, you have to start somewhere. You have to be a beginner. You will always be a beginner in something that you haven't done before. And it's much better to start as early as possible, so that the more you do, the more experience you gain, the more skills you gain, the more knowledge you get, and so on and so forth. Guys, one day, at one point in time, you will have to understand that everything you want to achieve lies outside of your excuses, outside of your limiting beliefs, outside of everything that tells you that you cannot achieve something. It lies where your face is. It lies somewhere where you can find strengths and courage in yourself to actually believe that you are capable of achieving anything you want in your life. And trust me, starting something new already means getting out of your comfort zone, because you're literally trying to do something without even knowing what you're doing. You're trying to do something that you have never ever done before, and you're just blindly pushing yourself into the pool of the unknown, and you have to learn how to swim on the way. I don't know how I came up with this example right away here while I'm filming, but I actually can compare this feeling to the feeling when you want to learn how to swim. So basically you cannot learn how to swim without actually getting into the pool and trying to swim. In order to become a professional swimmer, you actually have to start somewhere. You have to get into the pool. Another important thing besides starting and getting out of your comfort zone that I want to mention is that you need to say no to yourself whenever you feel like doing your guilty pleasures. For example, me, I used to constantly binge watch Netflix and a lot of like K-dramas and a lot of stuff. Like every single day, all I would do is just binge watch something. And it became such a huge habit that I even didn't know how to start out my day or how to eat without watching something, how to do something without watching something, right? And it got really sick. And I was like, you need to set boundaries with yourself and you need to say no. That's it. And you know what I've noticed when I stopped binge watching, when I completely stopped watching stuff? I realize that when I'm not watching anything, when I'm not listening to outside voices, I have so many ideas in my mind that I want to just get my journal and start writing them down because there are so many. And they are so inspiring. And I'm like, oh my God, how didn't I come up with this before? But really, I realized that I didn't come up with this before because I would constantly listen to other people's voices. I would constantly listen to the stories that they showed in movies or in shows and so on and so forth. Like I would constantly watch other people. And so I didn't have a space in my mind for the thoughts, for the ideas that were coming in there. And basically you need to give yourself time every single day to just sit with your thoughts, to just I don't know, some quiet moments of the day where you can just sit with yourself and listen to yourself and not to other people's voices, to the outside opinions, to whatever is going on in the outside world. The first thing you have to do all the time is go into your internal world and try to listen more to your intuition, to the voice that's inside you, that's telling you stuff, that's inspiring you, that's giving you motivation and discipline to actually do something. Because every time you feel like not doing things that are going to get you to your goal, you need to imagine in your mind the life where you do not have that goal, where you're not achieving that goal and you failed for good. And then you're going to become so scared that you're not going to let yourself do anything else other than the things that are going to bring you to that goal. Another thing is that in the very beginning, when you're just starting, you are so motivated to go on and to push and to hustle and to work and to do the stuff, right? But then in the middle, when you're not seeing the results, when you're actually like, wow, this is not like working out for me, it's not happening, blah, blah, blah. And you're losing your motivation and you're like, oh, I'm on the verge of giving up and so on. But honestly, really, this is where you have to introduce yourself to discipline. Like, start being really, really disciplined, like a trainer, like an athlete that every single day trains his muscles. You need to see yourself as such, because honestly, consistency and discipline are going to bring you anywhere you want. Also, guys, never, ever, ever listen to other people that tell you that it is impossible, that you cannot do this, that you cannot achieve that thing that you're trying to achieve. Never, ever listen to those people. Because in the first place, did they actually achieve that? And if your answer is no, then I don't even know why you're listening to them. Because honestly, the people that do not believe in themselves, that have their own limits and beliefs, that have never achieved anything in their life, they will tell you that it's not possible because it's just easier for them to believe in that. And they want you here on the low level just as they are. So if you want to achieve big things, if you want to be on top of the world, you have to stop listening to those kind of people and start listening to successful people that actually achieved things, because they will never tell you that it's impossible for you. Successful people will never ever tell you that you can't do that. They will never ever find an excuse for you to actually not do anything. So the spring coming is an opportunity for you. You still have so many months in 2025, and all of them, all this time, all these days, every single moment is an opportunity for you to start and be very, very smart with it and use it for your own good. Because guys, honestly, whether you do it or don't, time will pass anyway. So this is it for this video, guys. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.